Hello YouTube and welcome back to X-Ray Tech, giving you an inside look at PC hardware. Nowadays, if you're looking for that mid-range, very high ultra settings at 1080p gaming experience and you want to buy new, this is the kind of build that you would find yourself with. You'd have a Ryzen 5 2600, great value, 6 cores, 12 threads, a nice 120mm AIO cooler, a mid-range B450 motherboard, 2x4 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, an SSD, an HDD, an RX 570 or roundabouts graphics card, a nice tempered glass side panel case, and a power supply, and this would run you, somewhere in the neighborhood of $700 to $800. As you can see here, no one actually does the mail-in rebates, and this is a concept that I kind of want to challenge a little bit for you guys with both the build that we're going to do today and in general by turning to the used market for some of the great value that you can find there today. This is the channel's first PC build log, and I really wanted to bring this value proposition to the table for you guys. Here we can see some of the parts that we're working with. It's important to note, and you'll see throughout the video, that we encountered a few roadblocks, the most prominent of which is going to be the graphics card, which had to change 2 times, no joke, twice. The one you see here is the R9 290X that we put a hybrid AIO water cooler on in our previous video. This one didn't fit because of the aluminum fin array on the back. It didn't match up well with the memory slots in the motherboard with the memory in, and we couldn't make it fit, so ultimately it was pulled from the build. Our motherboard is a Gigabyte H270M DS3H. This is a locked motherboard. It does not support overclocking, which conflicts a little bit with the CPU that we put in, which was my old i5 6600K. I urge you to treat this as the performance of an i5 6600 instead, which is a pretty solid value proposition and a better pair for this motherboard. However, this CPU was what I had on hand. Moving on to the CPU cooler, we have my old H60 AIO by Corsair. Absolutely an excellent performer and pretty good value for money in my experience. I had no issues with it whatsoever. And powering everything is a Cougar VTX 700 80 plus bronze non-modular power supply. The case that we went with, and one of the only new components that we added to the build, was the Thermaltake H18 TG, and I almost wish I had done a dedicated video for this case alone. I found it excellent to work with. I found the build quality to be very good, and that tempered glass side panel, all for under $50, just can't be beat. So without any further ado, let's get to the build. If you've been paying attention up to this point, you'll see that we are on our third graphics card for this build. Yes, our third. You remember I mentioned we had issues with the graphics card on this. The first one, the R9 didn't fit. The second was a GTX 980 that is giving me some serious issues. Sometimes it gives me a picture, sometimes it doesn't, and I've got some ideas for that, and we'll see another video for that. But for now, I subbed in another great video card, the Sapphire R9 290 Vapor X. This is yet another product that deserved its own video. This card has outstanding quality. Everything is aluminum, very little plastic on it, nice backplate, and a cool lighting effect that changes the Sapphire logo from blue to red based on the temperature of the card. Another part of the build that didn't make the final cut, when you saw the earlier pan shots to all the components, you saw some Arctic 120mm fans. Those have been substituted for two additional Corsair static pressure fans that I had that matched the fan for the H60 AIO. It's keeping a nice, theme and a nice little bit of symmetry there to the build. That's enough of me talking for now. Let's enjoy the build that we've put together and watch some gameplay footage to see what it can do.
Today. All good, as long as I'm not on the list.
Bao yếm trợ đang đến. Chúng ta phải ẩn nấp hoặc chết.
As the video draws to a close, I want to take a moment to touch on the greatest value proposition of this entire build, which I consider to be the graphics card, the R9 290, which can be had on the used market for as little as $100. It directly compares and trades blows with the RX 570, which can be had for roughly $150 brand new, with a great difference in value. We see as well that the R9 290X, which can be had for around $120, goes toe-to-toe with the RX 580 in terms of performance, which is upwards of $180 to $200 brand new. In total, if you can keep your eye on the used market, if you can scout out the right build, if you can scout out the right parts, you can barter for the right price, you stand to save anywhere from $250 to $300 from this $500 to $550 system to a new comparable system costing $700 to $800, and I think that's incredible value. I hope you do too. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, informative, any combination of the three. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe down below, and as always, this has been X-Ray Tech giving you an inside look at PC hardware.